Hello and welcome to another episode of Office Hours with Styck's Intern. I'm here, I'm serving up that stick to your ribs, delicious and nutritious DFK discussion and general crypto happenings. How are we doing tonight? I hope you can hear me. I'm trying a new microphone. You see these little guys? Yeah, so it might be, doing bugs. So let me know if you can't hear me, but otherwise I'm going to go on. It's good to hear. Good to have everyone here. Good to be here. I forgot it was Wednesday already. So I woke up and I got about halfway through my day and I realized, oh, snap, I'm streaming tonight. So I put together some content real quick and we're off to the races. So top line news for DFK this week is that the dual season is wrapping up. I believe that's tomorrow. I don't know the exact date. But yeah, seeing a lot of posts on Twitter of people making it into Legendary and Mythic, hitting their duels goals for the season. A lot of people doing the Brown Gentian strategy of, delaying their start time and then just quickly rising through the ranks. It'll be interesting to see if there's a response to that play style somehow, because I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it, but I could see how someone might complain that it's kind of unfair that other people go the whole time and then people can just come up and get the same rewards with less effort, right? But I don't have an issue with it. I didn't do duels this season, so I have zero stake in that battle. But cool that the season is wrapping up. I mean to do it next season. I just couldn't really take the time out with the time I had to spend on work in the past, month or so. But yeah, that's what we got on duels. Next, after duels, we got Jewel. Jewel moving from 10 to 15 cents. Yeah, baby. Sentiment is up, at least according to the price. That's like pretty significant move, right? I feel like it took us really long to kind of drain down to 10 and then quickly rose back up. It's like a 50% gain. So that's cool. People are excited about that. People are obviously also talking about that. I got some charts and graphs that I will be showing you all later. So look forward to that. And then, in connection with that price action, it might be correlated somehow to new players coming in, right? We got a bunch of new people kind of posting on Twitter. I'm seeing new PFPs, different names. So either someone's, totally changed their persona or it's new people coming in. So that's cool. Pretty exciting. Do they stay? Do they go? I don't know. But I think DFK is really exciting, and it's kind of one of those things that once you start, a lot of people get hooked, especially with the summoning and how much fun that is. And on that, I thought, I've been thinking everyone talks about the summoning system like it's, kind of this very difficult system to kind of understand and master. And, I've seen these new players coming in. I think it's important to kind of just remind everyone of some of these basics. Oh, screen just went blank as fuck. What just happened there? Of course, all bugs every time. We'll just see if an old F5 will work. Yeah, it did. Yeah, baby. That's right. All right. Make sure I'm sharing. Good. Oh, and let me change up this background here really quick. I love you, Mythic Squad, but also intern. Anywho, so there's a lot to the summoning. There's a lot of depth to it, right? And one thing, though, is that you don't have to memorize every single pair. So this one is going for the new players, the veterans. You all know this. This is like back of your hand style stuff. But for anyone kind of getting in recently, the way you can very easily tell whether you have a pair is they are organized so that the warrior and the knight pair up when you're summoning, and they give you a chance to make a paladin, right? So you see here we have warrior, knight, thief, archer, yada, 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 all the way to scholar and legionnaire. And those are the most recently released basic classes, is scholar and legionnaire. Once you get past that, you're at the advanced classes. So we have 6 advanced classes out right now. We got Paladin, Dark Knight, Summoner, Ninja, and Shapeshifter and Bard. Then we have 3. So this is where we get into the odd numbers. So there's one exception to what I'm about to tell you, but there's 3 elite classes and then 1 exalted or transcendent. I forget what the modern lingo is, but one of the highest. That's the Dread Knight. Dread Knight stands alone and is unique at the top of the food chain. But so once you just kind of know which ones are the advanced classes and which ones are the elites and which ones are the basics, you can know that these 2 basics will pair up to make this first advanced. And then the second 2 basics, Thief and Archer, pair up to make this second advanced. And then the third 2 basics, Priest, Wizard, pair up to make this third advanced, the Summoner. So it kind of, you work your way down the lists, and you don't even have to memorize anything. You can just look at it and figure out what you want. Say I have a Archer, I could just go in here, find a Thief, because that's what's right next to it. The only exception is the Dread Knight and the Spellbow, because the Dread Knight stands alone, and the Spellbow will have a partner in the future. And so when that person is added, they'll push the Dread Knight down, and everything will be in perfect order at that point. But that's way, way down the road right now. That's not anytime soon. So that's just, there's one exception. Dread Knight and Spellbow don't combine to make anything. They are just, the Spellbow is an elite class. The Dread Knight is the one above it. There will be something that the Spellbow and to be determined hero will mutate. And then maybe that other hero will pair with the Dread Knight. So that's what people are speculating. And then here's the thing is once you learn kind of about the classes, the next thing most people learn about summoning is these active skills. And there's the active skills work the exact same way. So there's 8 basic active skills, 4 advanced, 2 elite, and then 1 at the top. And so this one, because they haven't added new active skills with every hero release, it's just stayed with the original kind of pyramid that they had at the beginning, where it's 8, 4, 2, 1. So you can just count it out. Boom, 8. There you go. There's your basic skills. Every one above that. So if I have a hero that has Blinding Winds, Cleanse, Speed, and Deathmark, then like the ideal but like very unlikely to find pair would be one with Poison Blade, Heal, Iron Skin, Critical Aim. And like most of the time, you'd just be looking for a matchup on 1 or 2 of those, and you got a pretty good pair to summon with. And then same thing for the advanced. Boom. Exhaust and Explosion pair with Daze and Hardened Shield respectively. So Exhaust and Daze, Heart, Explosion, and Hardened Shield. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then Stun and Second Wind combine to make Resurrection. And so one day when the future classes are released to bring us all the way out to the Spellbows pair, it'll look kind of the same, where the Spellbows will have, actually, I guess when that happens, it'll be 2 in a row, because we'll also get the Dread Knight pair when we get to that point, I think. So, but either way, but it's like this, where you just go line them up, you can mutate. And also, it's not just the advanced abilities, and it's not just the classes, it's also these appearance genes. They work the exact same way. So you don't have to memorize anything. I don't memorize these ones. I know the heroes because I've been doing this for like a year and a half. I don't know, honestly, if by name the skills. I just do them by number in my head, because that's what the tools used to be. So yeah, that's a little bit of intern teaching time. Gonna start incorporating that. You don't have to memorize a lot. They put it out for you. That's my main message to the players of this game. Oh, I'm just now getting back to the chat. Wow. Nice. I actually liked the movie Minority Report. I don't know if that makes me the minority or the majority, but I do really like all of this Right Said Fred going on in here. I like everything you guys are doing there. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is actually old news at this point. So, actually, before I move on, I should, probabilities are not always your friends, people. You can summon a bunch of times with no mutations, really long streaks. You naturally, when that's happening, you have a friend who's playing, and that person's hitting every other hero summon. Boom! I got triple advanced. What are you looking at? So just be prepared for that. It's going to be max pain because that's just how our brains are programmed to kind of interpret it, even if it's not like that. But I do want to highlight Eric's here's points though. Like it is a dice roll at the end of the day whenever you summon. There's no like guarantees. Good to know, Beef. Good to know. But yeah. All right. So this is old news, but Wowee and Maddie Pesk from Bogside Chats, from the Wowee Show, both of them. They had a couple weeks ago, they had Hubert and Workhorse from Kingdom Studios and Wisdom Gaming, respectively, onto Wowee's awesome show, which is, the greatest stream in DFK, if I'm being honest. In-depth analysis. You just got to commit to about 7 or 8 hours of Holden Caulfield-esque discussion. But anyway, they had these two legends of the developer, the people building the game, and they had some fun stuff to say. So one of the things that I really enjoyed, was really excited to hear, was that Wisdom's doing a lot more than just building out PvP or even just building out the combat system generally, right? And sure, a lot of the stuff that they were kind of hinting at is still conceptual, but I wrote down a quote here that I think it was Workhorse said this from Wisdom, and he said, "Wisdom is working on only DFK titles that are worked on in conjunction with Kingdom Studios proper. We are working," then ... he said some other things. And then we are working on an array of things that people will be able to play in the future that are not just PvP as you know it now. That got me amped. That got me so amped because it's like, first off, he used the word array. You know what an array is? It's a shload. It's a bunch. It's many. Now, I'm not saying they have like 100 projects in the hopper, but like, I don't think they're just tacking on a single mini game either at the same time. If he uses words like that, I think it's like they have many things that they're actively ideating at the very least, right? Just forming their ideas on. So I wanted to call that one out. I'm really excited about it. Because it just shows, it's further commitment, right? Like Wisdom is not just a contractor hired to do one job and then peace out. I wash my hands of this. They are, in fact, forming a more integrated partnership. And that's cool. That's good. That says a lot of things, right? Because you had to convince some, company that it was a good idea to continue this partnership with what has been like these conditions over the past year that have like us community beaten down until the price is moving this week and everyone leaving felt hopeless. Now people are coming back and it seems like they're going to have a lot, to experience once this thing gets fully rolling. And just the way they talk about the vision that they have but cannot yet reveal, it gets me so excited to see what's behind the curtain one day, even though it's not there yet because it's not built yet. But yeah, well done to Wowee and his, co-host, I guess would be the word, Maddie, for lifting this info loot from the hands of our dev gods in DFK. Some other stuff that they talked about was the changes coming up to the combat testing grounds. Those sounded like not in the immediate term, but in the soonish term generally. Workhorse got me excited about how he's trying to integrate tanks into this game because my big concern as a person who's played tank in a lot of other games and like really enjoyed playing that role was that it would because every team had to have one. And like, I assume not everyone likes to play like I do on where it's like, ooh, yeah, I stunned that guy. You can't do the move you wanted to do. I feel so good about that. Not everyone's like that. So I didn't know how much they'd really define the role in a separate way. And hearing Workhorse talk about it makes me feel like I got someone I can trust behind the wheel and they are going to make something that they will think is fun. And if Workhorse is making something that he thinks is fun, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to think it's fun because we've played like all of the same games or like mostly. slight variations and differences, but like the guy's got good taste in video games, if I'm being honest. So I'm really excited for it. They talked about some tournament issues, right? And so Maddie was asking about commons faring against the mythics and the highest tier heroes in tournaments, and making whether there was any consideration given to like whether that's an issue. And there's like the general consensus was that mythics will have an advantage because they're going to have more stats. It's pretty undeniable. It's pretty clear, and apply that reasoning appropriately as you move down the ladder. But like, not everyone's going to need that to enjoy the game. There's going to be many ways to enjoy the game. You don't need to be the very best in PvP. Think about like the top rating guilds in WoW who are on a timer clock against people around the world trying to finish this new boss on the hardest difficulty mode as fast as they can so they can claim like world first, right? Those people are, that's a small subset of gamers, but like, really dedicated, really exciting to watch subset, but that's not what everyone does. And they're going to have something for everyone in DeFi kingdoms. And that also, that was something I suspected for a long time, but just hearing them say it got me excited. That is like validating, Ooh, we got quite a spicy question here from Starbuck. I also would like to know if any of them played it, but if just because if they did, I'm gonna have to audit their time. See how many quests, how many days, so that I can just know, so I can judge. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I wouldn't do that. That sounds like way more work than it's worth. But yeah, good question. I kind of doubt it. I haven't seen any of them talking about it, right? And it's not, I don't know. It's a good question, though. Good question. But yeah. Workhorse also fell into the trap of almost saying the word metaverse. I've got a solution for that. If anyone could, just send Workhorse this, however long this clip is of just this part of the video, so you see it, that'd be great. Gaiaverse. Done. Easy. And then in connection with the Gaiaverse, right, the ADFK guys announced that they're building their own kind of dungeon crawler PvP experience with their own, side lore that they're building around the world of DeFi kingdoms. And, with the loss of Fight Club recently, I've been sad about the fact that there wasn't really any kind of third-party development of any kind that I could point to and say like, hey, look, like there are other people building on DFK chain, right? Because I really like that about Fight Club. That was one thing I liked about it a lot. And hearing that those guys who are just so clearly smart and have fun ideas, the Raf and Neindorf and whoever they have helping them out, maybe it's just them. I think that's my understanding, is it's just them. But I'm excited to play that, and that's like what I want. I think mods are what's going to set Web 3 apart from Web 2, and in a very good way. So video game mods are extremely common, right? You go onto Steam, you can download all these mods for all of your games. One of the most popular games in the world, League of Legends, that genre of 5 people fighting and trying to kill the other person's base started off as a mod to Warcraft called Defense of the Ancients, and it was called Dota, which eventually became its own game. There's a whole lot of history there that I don't really need to go into or know in specific detail, really. But it's just mods have been such a powerful force on gaming, and by tokenizing and making these assets public, it really lets mods. I don't know. I think that it unleashes the potential for mods in ways that we can't imagine yet. And maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it just ends up very similar, where there's just a lot and they don't really have any impact on anyone but you, right? But I really think they're going to be like, that's going to be where like a lot of fun innovation happens as Web3 gaming, what crypto gaming, DeFi kingdoming, whatever you want to call it, as this space matures. I think that's where it's really going to stand out and shine. It's like, community development and reinvestment through building this stuff together. So yeah, I'm excited for the Gaia community driven, that's with a hyphen, community driven universe, the GCU. And I'm excited that Raph and Neindorf are working on one of the first entries into the GCU. I actually have one of the earliest, pulp entries with the Styx intern's origin story, right? And I have part 2 halfway done. It needs some serious word cutting, but the second story is going to describe the first time that our bloater intern encounters one of Gaia's heroes in the realms and the terrifying tale of his experience that led to running into this hero in the forest. So stay tuned for that. I will have that coming out. Probably, I'm aiming for Saturday, but if I get it done sooner, if I have a moment of inspiration, I might just fire it off. But yeah, Gaia's community-driven universe. Now, I'm not married to that. I just did it for the obvious MCU reference, Duh, it's kind of low-hanging fruit. I obviously took the acronym and worked backwards to the words. But I'm open to other ideas, like we could come up with better words. Like we could take the word Gaia, use that as a backronym, as I think is the word backronym when you start with an acronym and work backwards, like how they do with all those fancy bills, like the Patriot Act. That's all I got on the GCU. I'm trying to start that word, so I'm going to say it a bunch of times because according to the overriding commandments of Bo Burnham, the core to anything is to repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff. Gaiaverse, GCU. There we go. It's starting. All right. On the lore, it sounds to me like Beetle Dude and Second Best Dad are working on more than art, right? That was another thing I picked up in the Wowee Show. Seriously, Wowee's amazing. He's so good. I forget that other guy's name. Maybe it's France. But anyway, a Wowee Show. They also said Beetle Dude and Second Best Dad really stepped up, and they have this past experience working in like lore development for I don't remember if it was video games, but it was like for some sort of fantasy world building experience, and that got me really excited because like maybe page 10 never really got pushed out because they realized they could do a better story. Is something I've started to wonder after I heard that, but we'll see. They got a lot of direction to work with it, a lot of direction to run with stuff and figure it out. I'm going to share my screen again, and this time I'm going to go talk about some tweets. So, as I said earlier, a lot of positive sentiment on Twitter these days. And one really cool thing has been the new people coming in. Here we have someone talking about Avalanche subnets, fast, infinitely scalable, secure, 500 million transactions on DFK's subnet, little video. We love that, right? This person's got the Avalanche thing in their screen name, though. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just an AVAX maxi, intern. Why are you showing this? We see these people bullish for DFK all the time. You're right. We do see these kinds of people bullish for DFK all the time. But this is cool. 500 million transactions. Wow. Amazing. Over here, though, now we got, I don't know if you've seen this, but like I think last week we like barely made the list, right, in this voting thing. And now we're at number 6. Oh, week 26, top 10 most voted gaming ranked projects. I guess on Coin Market League, I'll follow them. I'll start to get the deets. But yeah, I saw that DFK retweeted this one earlier today. Got me hyped because I knew that we were moving up because they retweeted it before, I think, for a previous week. So yeah, maybe might have to go, flex our votes and beat out some of these other people on this platform. Get DFK some airtime. We also got this. So this is an Axie Infinity player who is, it seems like they are kind of like a storyteller. I'll give them a follow too. I didn't realize. But they're like telling this story. If I scroll up in the thread of like their Axie named Axial, kind of moving around and checking stuff out, and then they tie it in with these charts and graphs. It's crazy, all sorts of stuff. And so, like, really, this thread, if you want to dive into it later, it's got a lot. So I dropped that into the live chat. I don't know if it comes through. It might. Yeah, it did. It did on my end. So you're good. But yeah, there's a lot of info here. I think this was the tweet that I was on, and I thought this was awesome. So we talked about new users coming in. Are we worried that new users come in and then leave quickly? Well, let's check this out. I'm clumsy. Yeah. I actually can't even read this. Here, let me just read the data analyst analysis. Boom. A remarkable trend. It boasts a strong ability to retain users, 40 to 70%. Wow. That's unbelievable. And this was just some cherry on top. Web3 gaming has more unique wallets than NFTs or DeFi. All right, but I'm going to call this one out, though. I'm showing you this one because it's like my first reaction when I look at this is how do you categorize it in such a way that NFTs are not included, but Web3 gaming is? It seems like there's some line drawing being done to achieve these results where are they cutting the difference between those two things? Is like one, are NFTs included all the way if they're like potentially a GameFi project, right? So like watch out for bad statistics, but still, it still is interesting and it could be good. I'm just saying we just don't know whether it's good or bad data. All right. So those are the main things I had for DFK this week. Dragon's Crossing, pretty fun stuff. I do play Dragon's Crossing. I haven't signed up for the new season yet, though, because I saw that there were these issues and things were in flux. There were some bugs with some abilities. What's up, Sir Worm? I appreciate you. Spread the sintern over SI. It's just SI is just like it rolls off the tongue worse than stick sintern. So it is sintern if they need to shorten it. I like it. I appreciate you. But yeah, Dragon's Crossing, new season. If you have Gen Zeros available from having purchased them early in season 1, you got to claim them fast. They're going to disappear on July 7th is the plan. Get burned, all of them. So you got to claim them fast. If you're seeing this and you haven't claimed them, go do it ASAP. Otherwise, they're gone. But yeah, there were some bugs with some abilities, and I think it was primarily with skills. And because they reworked, the Dragon's Crossing reworked all of the skills and everything in the latest patch to go with the new season. And because there were some bugs, there was a question of whether to do a season reset, right? Or to just let it play out as is. And this morning, Bloated Punch made an announcement that they're just going to let it play out as is. So I do believe they're going to like fix the bugs, but they're not going to like extend the time frame is what I mean by that. And so just good to note if you have been playing but maybe haven't been paying attention to the season 2 updates, there's a lot of information. No, not Bullish Brovia here asks, if you buy a Gen Zero now, do you still get a second Gen Zero? And the answer is no. You had to buy them before they lowered the price in season 1, and they took a snapshot of holders at that time. So no, buying one now will get you one before they're all gone, to burn, but you won't get you a second one. So yeah, that's all I got on Dragons Crossing. I'm excited to play. I got 3 heroes now to register. I had 2 last season, but I got 1 because I had bought 1 before that cutoff time and 1 after. And so, yeah, I got to scrounge up my 20 USDC per and send that in. Well, Bullish Brovia asks here, would I recommend buying one? And the answer is I don't recommend much of anything, but I will tell you that I got 1 to begin with. I started playing. I enjoyed playing. I wished I could play more, so I got a second one. Interpret that however you will. And now I have a third one, so I can play even more. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy the game a lot. I think the meta game of trying to kind of beat, it's like kind of like a dungeon race, basically, if you're just like oversimplify the entire thing. But whoever finishes the last boss the fastest, right? And fastest is determined by the number of quests you use. And quest is a general term. It's not really like what you think of as a quest in like a World of Warcraft or something like that. It's like anytime you take engage in some behavior in the game. So if you travel between zones, you use a quest. If you go to fight, the monsters of the zone you're in, that's a quest. If you do the daily quest of the zone you're in, that costs you a quest. If you want to access your shared storage vault between your characters, that costs you a couple quests. And if you want to go to the herbalist and heal up, you can get a lesser heal for 1 quest or a full heal for 2 quests. And so it's kind of like a currency on action in Dragon's Crossing is how they work. And whoever can finish the season in the fewest quests is the winner of, or like not the only winner, but they take the largest amount of the prize pot that exists at the end of the season from the entry fees. So that's how it works. And it's pretty fun. I got 11 USDC for last season, even though I did not even finish the 4th zone of 5. And that really surprised me because, like, having not finished, I did not expect to be anywhere near high enough on the leaderboard for that. So it seems like would I have broken even? No, but it also wasn't full cost. So that's interesting. First season didn't cost anything to enter. The team just put that money up, but like this time and going forward, it's like an entry fee. That was just kind of a season 1 promo. And I think that's for the better anyway, overall. Worm here recommends it. Simple to play. Yeah, I agree with that. Like you kind of walk into it, you do like your first monster, and then you kind of get like complacent and realize how easy it is to die. And then you start having to think. And that's when it really kicks in. I think the mental engagement strategy of it, once you kind of go through that process as a first player, coming in fresh, without someone guiding you to help you avoid common pitfalls. And yeah, I don't know anything about skills. I got 1 skill book in the first season, and I did not apply it to a hero yet. So all of my dudes were Rangers season 1. I got a warrior with my new one, and they just use their starter abilities the whole time. But it's fun. I did like it a lot, and yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't intend to sell my heroes. That's another thing. You could ask it that way, I think. But that's all I really got on Dragons Crossing. No reset. We'll play it live. We'll do it live. Play the ball as it lies, as they say. Shoot 'em, Gavin. Ooh. We got Mellow Green Giant talking about waterboarding his friends. No, I mean onboarding. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, yesterday. Oh, I thought you were going to say some success story. I just add that one key word. I needed that one. Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, I'd be interested in hearing more about that experience if anything funny happens. Were they like video game people is my only question, though, because if they're neither blockchain nor video game, that seems woof. But if new to blockchain, I feel like Dragon's Crossing is so blockchain minimized that it's not bad, really. Yeah, okay, I respect your call here. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I did get one rift shard, so if you want one on the cheap from your homie, let me know. Well, I mean, I know it doesn't solve your problem with the fact that they're not openable yet. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, good. All right, yeah. I mean, it's fun. What surprised me was learning how important the higher level skills are, and like not how like obviously they're important, so that's bad phrasing, but how big the difference is between the like level 4 or the skill 4.4 skill point skills and the ones you start off with, because you get to that fourth zone and it's like what is it like? It's like going into a fight with a pool noodle is what it's like, and they got like claws and teeth, and you got pool noodle. Also could have been my gear. I died many times on both heroes that I had, so I kind of just took it as a test run, you know. I think another part of my problem too, and this is not something that I expected going in, is that I turned off manual dice rolling. I turned on auto roll, and I think like at least 3 of my deaths were due to me just kind of not realizing what was going on, because I was absent-mindedly just clicking attack, 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 and then I died because I wasn't watching my own health at all. So, you know, there's some of that. It kind of keeps you on your toes. On the broader ecosystem, you know, there's been a lot of drama going on about the Azuki mint. I don't know if anyone here is personally affected by that. I am not, but a friend of a friend, so like my best man, one of his soon-to-be wife's friends, got apparently very wrecked by the Azuki floor getting wrecked. So pour one out for my buddy. Sad to see just like raw dilution happen. And you know, I haven't seen the entire collection, right? But just looking at the examples people have posted on Twitter, and like many of them, it's just like that's just straight, you know, funging your NFTs, if I will make up a new word there. Oh yeah. Back to the Dragon's Crossing. Good call there. Like, I'm frightened of the zones. I heard they made zone 2 and 3 harder too. Someone blew some big shit up in the 8 windows. What's that, dude? 4th of July, man. America, the beautiful land of the free, right? Free to blow my neighbor's windows out. Stay safe out there, as Beef says. Mythic vibes and stay safe out there go together hand in hand. So yeah, I mentioned a few episodes ago too, broader ecosystem. I'm done with Azukis. That's all I got on that. I don't really have any commentary. Yeah, I got these. They're my Son in-ear monitor headphones, and they are like feeling the sun for the first time after being locked in a dark room for days. Not like so long that it would hurt, but like long enough that it just feels amazing. And they're great for listening to music. I listened to a song I was working on that I thought was almost done, and immediately just heard so many things I had to fix. So very excited about that. These are prototypes. I did soulbind a Son NFT, so I locked it to my wallet, and that entitles me to the final product when they make it eventually. So I will be very excited to show those off too. Hopefully the end of the year. I'm guessing, you know, when people say end of the year, it's probably early next year if I'm setting my expectations, you know, just reasonably. But yeah, still looking forward to it. And the claim information for the comic book, the AR comic book that I mentioned a few weeks ago, is coming up. So I will be bringing that up when I get there. But for now, that's all I got for this week. My wife just got home, and she leaves, you know, for a couple of days right now. So I am actually going to go spend some time with her and call it short. But do a quick disclaimer here at the end. You know, this is a podcast stream that I make for my own entertainment. I just welcome all of you to watch. I'm not giving you any advice of any kind, just unfounded opinions on happenings in the Web3 space. Thanks for sticking around.